Hi there. It's July 31st, last day of the month, and the last Proverbs again. They come quickly. Let's jump over there. The last chapter of Proverbs, these are the words of chapter 1, or by verse 1. The words of King Lemuel, an oracle that his mother taught him. And King Lemuel was an obscure king. I imagine we'll be studying him pretty soon through the Bible in a year. We're still studying kings. And these are words that his mother taught him. They're wise words, too. Okay, for the first 9 verses, and then we'll talk about the other half. So, King Lemuel's mother. What should I say, my son? What son of my womb? What son of my vows? Don't spend your energy on women or your efforts on those who destroy kings. This was wise. Do you think she knew something? Right. Now, King Solomon, who was the wisest and richest king that ever lived in all of history, had 700 wives. His weakness was spending his energy on women. And what brought him down, King Solomon, was trying to keep 700 wives happy. And he would import them from all over the world. And they would bring their customs and their gods with them. And to keep them happy, he started building sanctuaries and altars to their gods, which is a no-no, which is what brought Solomon down. So it was very wise that she said, don't spend your energy on women or your efforts on those who destroy kings. Right? And this one, it is not for kings, Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, or for rulers to desire beer, or strong drink, some of them say. Right? Rulers shouldn't drink. Okay? Right? Otherwise, they will drink, forget what is decreed, and pervert justice for all of the oppressed. Right? If you're drinking and you get drunk and you're out of your mind, some wicked advisors could get you to do something that you otherwise would never do. So, more smart things from Lemuel's mother. Here's a verse a lot of people like. Give beer to those who are dying, and wine to those whose life is bitter. Let them drink so that he can forget his poverty and remember his trouble no more. All right? Those whose life is bitter. Right? It's okay to drink. It's not okay to get drunk. You know, all over the Bible it says, don't get drunk, don't get intoxicated, don't get hooked on it. But to have some beer on the weekends with your friends, forget a hard week's work, and just relax, it's okay. You know, it's okay. It says so. Verse 8. Speak up for those who have no voice, for the justice of all who are dispossessed. Speak up, judge righteously, and defend the cause of the oppressed and needy. Right? Always take care of the poor and needy. That's what King Lemuel's mother said. We did highlight quite a bit of that, didn't we? Now the rest of it, 10 through 20 through 31, wasn't written by King Lemuel's mother, but it is an old poem they taught children. And it's an acrostic poem, which means it loses everything in the translation except the meaning, but in the Greek or Hebrew, whatever it was written in, I think it was Hebrew, it was written in successive letters of the Hebrew alphabet. Right? Alpha is for this, beta is for this, C, delta, gamma. And it went successively, it was in ABCs, much like an ABC book you would write today to teach children they're animals or something. This is an ABC poem about wives, and not one wife, but wives in general. Nobody can do all these things, okay? So we'll read this poem. Who can find a capable wife? She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and she will not lack anything good. She rewards him with good, not evil, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with willing hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from far away. She rises while it is still night and provides food for her household and portions for her female servants. She evaluates a field and buys it. She plants a vineyard with her earnings. She draws on her strength and reveals that her arms are strong. She sees that her profits are good, and her lamp never goes out at night. She extends her hands to the spinning staff, and her hands hold the spindle. Her hands reach out to the poor, and she extends her hands to the needy. She's not afraid of her household when it snows, for all her household are doubly clothed. She makes her own bed coverings. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known at the city gates, where he sits among the elders of the land. She makes and sells linen garments and delivers belts to the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she can laugh at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and loving instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the activities of her household and is never idle. Her sons rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also praises her. Many women are capable, but you surpass them all, her husband says. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord will be praised. I always love that verse right there. Give her the reward of her labor, and let her works praise her at the city gates. So, that was a poem that would have followed the letters of the alphabet. Probably taught to young girls, right? Because they had a job back then. And there you have it. So, we can go over our highlights real quick. Don't spend your energy on women or your efforts on those who destroy kings. Right? Okay. Solomon finally said, enjoy the wife of your youth, or your first wife, or your only wife. Enjoy your only wife and love her. Let her satisfy you always. Yeah. Learned late in life, didn't he? And we learned that it's not for kings. Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, or for rulers to desire beer or liquor or strong drink. Otherwise, they'll forget what is decreed and pervert justice for all the oppressed. Right? Okay. Most rulers drink anyways. But... And 6 and 7. Give beer to one who is dying, and wine to those whose life is bitter. Let him drink so that he can forget his poverty and remember his trouble no more. Right? Just for a little while. It's okay. And then our poems about women. I always highlight verse 30. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord will be praised. Okay? You should never judge the character of anybody, man or woman, on their looks, okay, and what they look like. You should always find out what's in the heart. Okay? That's where you'll find beauty. It's inside. Okay? And I always love that part. So, there you have it. That's the last chapter of Proverbs. And later on today, we are doing the last 2 or 3 chapters of Isaiah. And finish that. That was an amazing book. And a lot of it's, still hasn't happened, but a lot of it has, and it's fun to read. So, there you have it. We will start again tomorrow on another version. We did the Holman Christian Standard version this month, which I really like. It's one of the newer versions, but it's a very well, an exact translation. Let me see if I can find I had a graph here that I'm looking for. If I can find it. can't find it. I can't find it, but I'm hoping I can find it. That's not coming up. Oh, there it is. Mm-hmm. There it is. We'll jump over here real quick. As you can see, this is all the versions. As you can see, it goes word for word over here on the left, which is exact word for word. They don't change the prose. They don't change the, and they're all good translation, but some of them change the thoughts and the words around so it makes more sense in modern English. Some of them don't do that. As you can see, the New American Standard is one of the most exact word-for-word translations out there. These are the old ones, okay? These are Bibles written before, like 2005 or so, because after 2005, all of the Bible translators changed them, okay? They changed the words, even though it says not to change the words and don't add to the words. It says that, all over the Bible, but they do. Okay, they do. They're going woke, you might say. So we stick with the older versions. And this one we did Holman Christian Standard. I don't see it up here, but it's right around here, about this part of the graph. You can see my arrow there. Word for word, and it goes word for word, thought for thought, and then paraphrase. I stay away from the paraphrase. That's where they change everything around and tell a different story. It means the same thing, but they tell it completely differently. Thought for thought, which will take a story and rewrite it in modern language so it makes more sense. Okay, thought for thought. I'd like to stick around this area. Exact word for word, thought for thought. See, there's the Holman Christian Standard right here. Okay. And if they make it exactly word for word in Greek, sometimes it makes no sense because the words are all turned around. I mean, they even read from right to left instead of left to right. So, which is interesting, And you know why we read left to right? Just interesting side note. Everybody that reads towards the Holy Land. Did you know that? Everybody on the right side of the Holy Land reads right to left. Everybody on the left side of the Holy Land leaves left to right towards the Holy Land. The Chinese, which are north, they read up to down towards the Holy Land. Interesting, huh? Just here's your lesson for today. So, but I'm not sure which one of these Bibles I can use any of these. I started with the New Living Translation, which is way over here in Thought for Thought. But I will go over these today, and, we might use the English Standard Version again or something like that. But we'll find another version tomorrow, one that we haven't used in a long time. Tomorrow will be the 12th time. It'll be exactly 1 year that we've been doing this every month. I plan on doing it for 2 years. But that's the end of Proverbs for this month. The whole book done again. We'll start it again tomorrow. Stay tuned later today. We're finishing the last 3 chapters of Isaiah today on our Through the Bible in a Year. It's day 213, I believe. So, that's it. Until next time, stay humble. Remember everything you learned in Proverbs, and we'll start it again tomorrow. See ya.